Okay, so here is my weekly update. So this is, I just finished week 8 of my Ultimate Shred program, and I don't know, I guess we'll see here in a second. I don't know that I can visibly see that much of a difference, but there was a difference in weight. So, last week my average weight was 146. This week my average weight was 144.7. So that's down an average of 1.3 pounds. And actually when I weighed today, my weight was down even more. It was 140, was it 142.3, I think? So it should have been shown at the beginning of the video. But part of the reason was that I didn't really eat that much yesterday. So for the beginning of the week, I can show you here in a second on MyFitnessPal, but the first 2 days I was a little bit hungrier. I also was like on my period kind of last week going into this week, the end of last week. And so that makes sense, like why last week I feel like I was craving a lot of fruit. I wasn't necessarily feeling, maybe I was feeling a little bit hungrier, but it wasn't like that noticeable, except like at the end of the night when I would finish my meal and I would just want to eat fruit, and knowing that I had fruit in the fridge, I would eat it. And it wasn't like a lot. There was like one day that I ate 2 mandarin oranges, and there was one day that I ate some pineapple. And then the rest of the day, so I think Monday, Tuesday, I had a little bit of extra fruit, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I ate right on track with my meal plan. And then yesterday, I was really busy all day. We were doing some painting. I'm finally about to finish up like the room that I've been renovating. And so I just was so busy that I just couldn't really find a good time to eat, and I didn't really eat that much. And at the end of the night, I was like, well, I'll get it all in. And then I couldn't finish. Like, I couldn't finish my regular food. At the end of the night, I was not craving like my meal plan food at all. And I was craving fruit again. And I had some like frozen pineapple in the freezer. And so instead of eating the food on my meal plan, I just ate a few bites of that. And then I ate fruit. So my calories yesterday were like really low. It was less than 1,000 calories, but I just wasn't hungry, and I don't know, but yeah, so I think that's why my weight was so low this morning, just because like I didn't eat a lot of calories yesterday. And it's just so crazy, like, you know, there's this debate on like calories in versus calories out, and in terms of weight, I think that definitely is like an important thing. You know, once you've hit your like maintenance calories, which I think is what I'm at around, it seems like 14 to 1500 appears to be with my current workout and everything. That seems to be like my maintenance calories. It seems if I go like above or below that, my weight really does like shift. I don't know. This is just what I'm noticing myself. And I mean, there's more to it than calories in and calories out. Obviously, I think the macro breakdown will have an effect if you're like working out and trying to build muscle, or, you know, things like that. But I think just strictly in terms of weight, like, yeah, calories in, calories out is huge. And this is also another thing that I'm glad that I've done, that this program goes for 3 months, because I'm kind of able to see like how my hormone cycle affects what I eat. Because normally when there's not anything external like stress or, you know, things like that that can emotionally affect my appetite or my eating, you know, it just goes by my hormone cycle. And so I think just over the course of a month, when other things aren't going on to affect like my eating, I typically will average out over the course of the month and stay the same weight, because there's some weeks like this last week where I crave different types of foods because of my hormones, and I'm hungrier, I eat more. And then it seems like the week, what I'm noticing right now is maybe like the week after, I'm not as hungry, because even even though I was busy and didn't eat most of my food yesterday, on Friday was the first day that I had a few bites left of my food. I ate almost all of it, but I did have a couple of bites left. Like, I couldn't finish all my food at the end of the night. And so I think that there is just like a normal cycle where there's like a week that I'll like bulk up, I want to eat a lot more and have calories, and then it's like the week after I'm just like, I don't have an appetite. And so without any external factors, I think naturally I just kind of have some weeks where I'm hungrier, some weeks where I'm not. So sticking to like, just like, okay, I'm only going to eat this many calories every day, like that could work to maintain weight, but just like, it's not really going with your own hormone cycle. But, you know, I'm doing the shred, so, you know, I'm going to kind of go against my natural, you know, hunger and all that. But it's just something interesting that I've noticed, because when everything's fine and I'm not super stressed about things, I don't really have much of a problem maintaining my weight, even though I feel like I eat really badly. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I eat all this bad food. But what I'm noticing now is like, even though I would eat quite a bit of bad food in the past, it wasn't like an every single day sort of thing. It was like, there would be a few days, 1 week, that I would eat all of this bad food and be craving all of this, you know, bad food, unhealthy food. And then other days that I like wouldn't hardly eat because I would just not think about it or not be hungry. And so it would kind of like average out to where I would just stay about the same weight, same size or whatever. But anyway, that's just something I've been thinking about, because I've watched a lot of YouTube videos like in the past and more recently about, you know, there's this movement of you know, the fat acceptance movement, that's coming out and talking about food and intuitive eating and all this stuff. And when I'm on, like I said, when there's not anything externally that's affecting my hunger, I feel like I can eat intuitively very well. Like, some days I'm hungry, some days I'm not. I eat, I don't eat. But I also think that bad food can disrupt that as well. I'm wondering how much of it is like the addictiveness of bad food, you know, because there's all that sugar and salt and everything that makes you crave more food to eat. Because a part of me thought like, well, yeah, because I notice sometimes when I am eating bad food, I crave more bad food and I eat more. But then if I was like sticking to like a plant-based diet but eating more fruit or things like that, but I'm wondering how much of it is that addictive effect and how much of it is like all of these other mental, emotional, stress things that are affecting appetite and hunger. I don't know if that makes sense. I've just been thinking a lot about it, and it's kind of interesting to notice, like, as I'm doing this program and sticking to a meal plan, like how that's going. Anyway, so I will go through my FitnessPal real quick, and then I will hop over and show you, take my measurements and everything. Okay, so let me start with my weight. So here you can see, again, throughout the week, if you start with last Sunday, I was 145, I went down to 144, then back to 145. So again, it kind of goes up and down, but is trending overall down. And then today, again, like I said, it was 142.3, which was substantially lower, but I think it's because I didn't take in as many calories, and I was pretty active yesterday, like painting and everything. So that's what the weight is looking like. And then in terms of my meals, so my daily average was 1411, which the goal for the meal plan is 1400 calories. So I think that's pretty good. And that was better than last week, because last week I was eating a lot more fruit, kind of adding in a couple of extra things. And that my average for last week was 1582, even though it was supposed to be 1400. So I was back on the meal plan, back on track this week. Next week it drops down to 1300 calories. It's a new meal plan for the next 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, overall I did pretty good. If you look at the macro breakdown, I thought that it was supposed to be, you can see on the goal on the right-hand side over there, 30% carbs, 30% fat, and 40% protein. But I was looking on the days that I was eating, specifically on the meal plan, and it seems like the carbs are higher and the fat is lower. I'm able to hit 40 on some of the days. Yesterday kind of threw that off a little bit, but on average, I was hitting 40% carbs, 23% fat, and 37% protein. So my fat was a little bit low, my protein was a little bit low, and I'm heavier on the carbs. But overall, I think it was pretty close because, like I said, the days, if you look at the days where I was actually on my meal plan, it was 34% carbs, 22% fat, and 43 protein. So yeah, there's a couple days I bumped up the carbs a little bit with eating the fruit, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. So yeah, I would say in terms of my eating this week, it was pretty successful. And I guess we'll see how that translates into my measurements. So I will pop over there and do my measurements real quick. Okay, so we'll start with how I look. So again, I think it looks about the same. But here's where it is. I think it will look different again if I start from, first week to now, but just week by week, I'm not really seeing visually to me that much of a difference. So here's the front, side, okay, so let me change my bottoms real quick and do the measurements. Okay, we'll start with the chest. I'll do the band first. So last week, this was 30 3/4. I don't think there's much more to lose here, honestly. Maybe a little bit on my back. So this week it was 30.5. Yeah, maybe there is a little bit. Yeah, there's probably a little bit more to lose in my back. Yeah, but not a whole lot, I don't think. And then my bust is, last week it was 36.25. This week it is 35.5 if I measured it right. So that's getting smaller. Gabby. My waist, last week it was 32. Oh, this week it is 31, a little bit over 31.25. I'll put it 31.25 because it's closer to that than the half, and I don't want to deal with like small little things. My hips were 40.75 last week. My roommate doesn't seem to think I can lose much more in my hips because, like, yeah, I can. Like, there's a little bit still there. But my hips are, I think, just gonna be pretty big no matter what because I just have big hips. But let's see what it is. Oh, wow. 39.25. So I did lose quite a bit this week. I mean, more substantially than I have been recently. Yeah, that was quite a bit. My thigh. Last week it was 22. It's been around 22 like the whole time. I haven't seen a whole lot of movement or change in my thigh measurements, which I don't really expect to because I feel like my thighs are pretty dominant, and I feel like if I am losing like fat, I'm building muscle in them. So yeah, it's still around 22. So I don't know that my thighs are gonna like really change that much, but hopefully, like even if the measurements don't change, the composition is changing. So I mean, they feel solid. Like it doesn't feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've got a lot of muscle in the thighs. So I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks, like dropping my calories, that I'll start to see more of whatever muscle I've been building. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Let's check I don't know. I want my shoulders to be bigger and my biceps, but I'm just, my upper body is not like, I also feel like my traps, I feel like a lot of the workouts I do from like my shoulders and upper body, I feel like them, I don't know how to flex my traps, but I feel like I am like working my traps quite a bit. I want some lats, but I don't know. Like I think I've figured out, I kind of practiced flexing them a little bit, but nothing really shows up yet. So I would like to have some like small lats that are visible, but I guess we'll see in the future. Next week is gonna be a little bit different. So I'm actually going on vacation for my birthday, and so I leave Tuesday afternoon and I'm gonna go out of town, but I am meal prepping today, so I'm gonna go ahead and prep all my meals and eat all of my meals. Like I'm not planning to go off the meal plan while I'm on vacation. And so my roommate's coming with me, so you know, even if I go out to eat, we go out to eat, I'm just gonna get water, which has not been that hard for me. And since it's this week, the week that I'm not having as much of an appetite, I think it's gonna be pretty easy. I'll just eat my meals that I have pre-made, and I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. The only thing will be the workouts. I'm gonna have to adjust the workouts. And the thing that I've been thinking that I want to do, and I may have mentioned this last week, is there's a Taibo workout. And I know Taibo is like aging me for sure, but like when I was young, there was all these infomercials for Taibo, and my mom had bought like the full like Taibo set that came out initially. And there was one of the videos, it was the original Taibo set, the advanced, and that was like my all-time favorite like workout when I was younger. I was like in middle school, and I did that like religiously, like every night for like a year. I did that Taibo workout, and I got in pretty good shape, and so I sometimes will like come back to that. And so what I'm thinking is, since I don't think there's really a gym where we're going, I could do, they have a home workout component to the program that I could follow. And so I'm wondering if I want to bring, you know, some bands and some weights and stuff with me to do that home workout. But what I'm thinking will be the easiest, since I won't have a treadmill to do cardio or whatever, I think I might just do the Taibo workout for the 3 days that I won't have access to the gym really. And I think that will kind of double for my, I mean, I know it's not weight, I know it's all body weight stuff, but it is a pretty like intense workout, and it gets your like heart rate up. So I feel like that will double for like my workout and my cardio for those 3 days. And so that's what I'm thinking about doing, just because it'll get it out of the way in an hour, and I can kind of like enjoy myself, do whatever for the rest of the trip. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'll do. I may end up doing the home workout, but I think I'm just going to do the Tybo and say I'm on vacation. I'm just going to do this and stick to the meal plan. But I'll try to take some videos while I'm on vacation, but like I said, my iCloud is pretty full, so I've got to like watch how much I film, and I think I may try to clean it out today if I have time. But yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens next week, see how well I am able to stick to that only eating on my meal plan while I'm on vacation, and I guess we'll just see how it goes. So that's it. I'll be back for week 9. I'm 2/3 of the way through the program. So I've got 4 more weeks left, and we'll see how it goes.